1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters gon' move. Whatever click you choose, you better stay.
What up, cuz? What up, blood? What up, gangsta?
If you a Crip or Damu and want your phone case to represent too, just tap in with cases and more.printify.me. They got different designs, different artists, football teams, basketball teams. So just be sure to tap in, and I'm guaranteeing you're going to find something that you like. It don't matter if you got the latest Apple 16, 15, if you got the 10, if you got the 8. It don't matter if you got Androids, Samsungs, man, he definitely is going to have a case to fit your phone. Just tap in with cases and more.printify.me. Now, initially, he was offering a 10% discount on all orders. But I said, hey, man, listen, I got a lot of dedicated subscribers. I got a lot of dedicated followers. Do you think you can go up to 20% off? And he said, no problem. So for a limited time, you get 20% off. You get free shipping and handling. I'm going to leave a link in the description that's going to take you right to the online store. Say what's cracking, YouTube. It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing right there on the intro, man. You already know what it is, and let's hop right up into this video. So, yeah, we got another Mexican rapper using the N-word, pushing NK, basically saying that he's NK, the NB for the hard, Nigger. Now, during the course of this video, I'm going to show you some videos that he made saying it, but I had to bleep it out because YouTube is extremely wishy-washy when it comes to those type of things. But I will try to leave a link so you can hear the entire video, because I don't bleep out where he's saying Nigga, but the Nigger, I definitely had to bleep out, right? So anyway, let me tell you about how all this came to my attention. So the other day, yesterday, I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I happened to see a video, and it was basically saying that, now this, let me set the scene for you. So this dude, P-Face, this is the rapper, this dude's name. He was on the program No Jumper, and so as they're on there talking, they're interviewing him. You got Munchie B up there. You got Young Ant Hefe and a few others. He gets up and he's getting ready to leave. And then Ant asked him where in Compton was he from, right? And then so he turned around and he tell him his neighborhood right now. So the video that I was watching that initially brought this to my attention, it was questioning when P-Face told Ant where he was from. Did the tone he used to tell him, was it aggressive? Did he check Ant or something along those lines, right? I can't remember the exact title, right? And so let me just show you guys that video right here.
Another like,
yo, appreciate you, dog. Sorry, his interview is coming out. It's gonna change the game.
Just no raggedy hood rap.
All right, Ant, bro. P-Face, the hardest out.
Yup, much you big.
Where you from in Compton?
Yeah, I'm from Eastside Compton.
What hood?
Compton BLP, Compton Barbaros, probably.
All right, 83rd Street.
That's what's happening, man. Shout out Compton.
So yeah, you guys see that video. Like I said, he's leaving. And then Ant asked him, hey, man, where about in Compton are you from? And then he turns around and he tells him in a somewhat of aggressive manner his neighborhood, right? And so that video that I seen was asking, did basically, Ant, basically, did Ant let the dude turn it up on him without turning it up back on him? Because then you hear Ant reply, yeah, I'm from 83rd Street. In my opinion, well, first and foremost, I don't even really know why Ant asked the dude that, because they're up there at No Jumper. You know, they had a cool little interview. Dude is leaving or whatever. But maybe, you know, sometimes when you in the gang banging life or whatever, just curiosity gets the best of you. Maybe Ant had done some time with some of his homies, whatever. You know, I don't necessarily think where Ant is from and that dude is from had any beef, and Ant was asking for that reason, just due to the geographical location of their two areas. You know, Ant's hood is nowhere near their hood, the P-Face's hood, but you never know. So who knows why Ant was asking? So I believe that Ant, being the mature individual that he is, the mature, you know, dude who's been in that life, he already expects somewhat of when you ask the dude where he from, you know, the dude is gonna reply basically with his chest, because in the California gang banging culture, when you ask the dude, hey, say homie, where you from? He's gonna, hey homie, I'm from whoop de whoop whoop. He's letting you know, that's just basically regular type of wording. When you get back at an individual, you telling them where you from, you gonna say it with your chest, you gonna represent and let him know. So, you know, Ant hears that, Ant just says okay, right? And so Ant wasn't tripping, in my opinion, at his response, because Ant is used to it, you know. And so that reply like that with that type of machoism he put in his voice is to be expected, right? So let me give you guys the sequence of events, right? So like I say, I seen that video. I had never heard of this dude, P-Face. So a little later in the day, I'm on Reddit and I'm watching Cali banging. And then that's when I happened to run across the video of P-Face saying, you know, F the ends, the N-I-G-G-E-R with the hard E-R, you know. And I'm saying, hold on, P-Face, didn't I just see this dude about an hour ago on No Jumper, right? And so when he's leaving No Jumper, you know, he shakes Ant's hand, he shakes Munchie B's hand, and so on and so forth. So I'm thinking like, damn, now, because in this video, this dude is saying, you know, he says F the Crips in a disrespectful way. He says F the Bloods in a disrespectful way. And that's cool, right? That's just gang banging. You have some gangs who don't get along with Crips and Bloods. You have some Mexican gangs who don't get along with Crips and Bloods. And you have some black gangs. So, I mean, you know, that's gang banging. They gonna diss. But then for him to say F, you know, the derogatory term for black people, to me now you're saying F all black people.
Nigga K, nigga, f crabs, nigga, 7th Street, whatever, twatties on the hood, nigga K, nigga, crabs, nigga, 7th Street, whatever, twatties on the hood.
So to me, it's just odd that now you're up on No Jumper and you shaking, you know, you're shaking black dude's hand as you're leaving right now. To keep it 100, in the video where P-Face is saying all these derogatory things, he does look relatively young, right? He looks much younger than he is today. So possibly that video was made 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. Who knows how long it was made, right? I got to keep things 100. He does look relatively younger than today. But in my mind, I'm wondering, okay, what type of glorious transformation have you had from that point to this point to now? You no longer feel, you know, F the N-I-G-G-E-R's, you know, because you still representing the same hood. You still hanging around the same people. I assume that you still have the same mentality and your homies still have the same mentality. So to me, it's just a trip that, you know, how you will have these individuals who have a great disdain for all black people, because once again, he didn't just say F the Crips, he just didn't say F the Bloods, he said F N-words. This is N-I-G-G-E-R, killer, which means that now he's taking it outside of the scope of gangbanging, right? So I wonder what type of, you know, heavenly transformation does individuals have who feel that way to suddenly be cool and shake black people's hands, right? Is it because, you know, I'm feeling that now you started rapping, and so you suddenly now, I guess, maybe feel that having black fans of your music would possibly help your music career. I mean, I don't know what it is, right? To me, it's crazy, right? So I happened to go and listen to his music, right? And I went to listen to his music with an open mind, right? Regardless of what he said, I'm gonna listen to his music and you know, I'm gonna rate it fairly according to how I feel about music. Now, to me, the dude's music is trash, right? He can't rap. To me, he's trash. He can't rap, and it has nothing to do with what he said. It just sounds like he's going into the studio just saying whatever comes to mind. I listened to a song that was called Hot Topics featuring, I think it was Tommy Guns, and I listened to one other song. And to me, you know, the other song had a pretty good beat, but the music lyrically was trash. But now keep in mind, I'm from a different era when, you know, rappers took pride in their lyrics, and so maybe I just may feel that way about his music because I happen to feel that the bar for rap is extremely low. You know, now to keep it 100, in his comments, you had a lot of dudes who put the fire emojis in his comments, right? But then once again, I say that a lot of these individuals, in my opinion, don't know music, right? Because for an individual to find that type of stuff entertaining, his music, to me, obviously, you know, they listen to a different type of rap, right? So I have another question though. Now let's just say that you happen to have a black dude go out there and say such negative things about the entire Mexican race, right? You would have a lot of Mexican YouTubers up in arms, right? And this is not the first video that we've seen where you have a Mexican using derogatory language or derogatory terms, or basically just saying F the entire blacks, and this is how he feels about blacks, right? And I have not seen any Mexican YouTubers make a video come out against this guy and say that what this guy is doing is wrong. Now let's make it clear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they have not done it. I'm saying that I have not seen those type of videos, right? Because once again, had we seen a black dude come before YouTube or social media and use this type of language in reference to the Mexican or Hispanic population, you would have many Mexican YouTubers up in arms, right? So honestly, man, I got to keep it 100, right? I feel that a lot of Mexican YouTubers don't come out and speak against this type of thing because they pretty much support the message, right? Because if they didn't support the message, they would come forward and say that this message is something that they disagree with, right? Because by me doing YouTube the same way that I'm seeing it, you know, I'm sure that a lot of these other Mexican YouTubers are seeing these videos. And so I'm just wondering that why, you know, these videos are repeatedly being made and you never have the Mexican YouTube community come out in numbers and speak out against it the same way they would if you had a black dude get up here and use that language or use those type of feelings and express those type of sentiments against Mexicans, right? So to me, it's just a crazy situation. And my last point for all the individuals who love to come on here and say that NK, no, that stands for something dissing the Northerners. Once again, this proves my point that no, you guys either don't know what you're talking about or you're just straight lying. Even though, shout out to all the Mexicans. I did have a lot of Mexicans come on my channel, leave comments and confirm and acknowledge that yes, NK does mean in some situations Nigger, killer, right? So once again, this is just more confirmation, right? And I don't understand how anybody who could even come on YouTube and say that, man, must be forgetting. Man, I spent a long time in prison, deeply immersed in the gangbang culture around many gang members from everywhere, right? So you're always going to hear stories about this type of stuff. So for an individual to even pretend or try to act like I don't know what I'm talking about in this type of situation, like I say, is crazy. When you're in prison, more than half of the population, I would like to assume, or at least a grand portion of the population, is gang members. So you can step out of your cell any day and hear stories of, you know, gang members talking about stuff going on. You know what's going on in the culture. Even though I might be an hour and a half, 2 hours away from LA, you have so many people from LA locked up in prison that eventually you get to know their culture. You know, I know about areas that I have never even seen. I can hear streets from certain neighborhoods and tell a person, oh man, you know, that's from such and such, even though I've never even been to that neighborhood, just due to hearing so many stories from other individuals from that area, right? So yeah, I just want to, you know, I just wonder at times why when videos like this come out, you know, you don't hear the Mexican YouTubers en masse speak out against this type of activity, man. Anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.